Okay. Hi everybody, I'm back this week. I hope you enjoyed last week's little different kind of way. So I decided to go ahead and do a second session on this first painting that I did. It's completely dry, and I have not worked on it since that session. So it is really dry, and the nice thing is that Laska, she's back. Yeah. So she's just here. She didn't come for the second session, but she's back for the third session. So that's nice. And I've got my palette ready, my medium ready, my brushes, and I hope you're there, ready to go.
So we have Jane McCormick and
Hi,
Marsha
Jane.
Manuel.
Hi, Marsha. I think Marsha's one of the ones that really wanted a second session. Katie Brees wanted a second session.
We have Linda Schumann Thomas. Hello from Virginia.
Hi, Linda.
Christian Stankowski.
Hi, Christian.
Kate
All right.
Reese.
So, oh, good, Katie. You see, I'm doing the second session. All right. So, I'm just going to take a minute to contemplate what's going on here. I did not get apricots at the store like I had last time, but I have other things, pomegranates. I might, I hope I'm not going too far away. Break them down a little bit. Oh. They're taking up so much space. All right, here we go. One thing I should suggest or say is that when you're working on a dry surface and you go to the second session, your paint needs to be thicker. And so you use the medium, but your paintbrush needs to be loaded for it to lay down properly. Laska. Laska.
Jill, let me know if I can ask a few questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Katie Brees is wondering, what is the size of this canvas?
Oh, it's 30 inches by 36 inches.
And she's also wondering, does a loaded brush create more texture?
Yes, it does. Yes.
And will you use a palette knife to remove or add paint?
Van Gogh said that was a great way to make corrections, is to use a palette knife sometimes to remove things that you later think you can take your palette knife and see if maybe what you had in the first place was better. But it doesn't work as well with dry on dry because it's already rigid underneath. So it works better on wet on wet. I do that a lot, but not as much when it's painting on dry paint. Yep.
Okay, so I seem to a few minutes ago. So it's Peter McStoneman. He's wondering, Jill, why do you never paint an underlayer, a darker color? Why paint directly on the white canvas?
This is a Cezanne-esque way, and he allowed the white of the canvas to work as a color and a light. And it's just such a pure translucent light that I love. But maybe next week I'll do this. I'll demonstrate the Van Gogh-esque way, which Van Gogh painted on white canvas and on pure linen canvas, which is like this, but this has the plastic on it. Can you see? And so this is just a canvas board. I stretch my own canvases, and I stretch with the pure linen that's been prepared with a transparent rabbit skin glue rather than the gesso. So it protects the canvas, but you have the canvas color as a color that works as a medium warm tone. Whereas the way of working on the white, if you look at Cezanne's fabulous last Sainte Victoire painting that he painted, your eye goes straight to the crest tip of the mountain where it pierces the heavens. And it's the essence of what he wanted to do. Art exists to make one taste the eternal. And that white, all brushstrokes are painted to give birth to that lightest light. And the lightest light is pure and divine and untouched. All brushstrokes are creating shadows to make that light exist. So that's the Cezanne way, and the Van Gogh is the other way. But I don't tint my canvases with raw sienna or orange or things that I see that people do. That's fine. There's so many ways to do it. But I guess my two great mentors are Van Gogh, Cezanne, and drawing-wise, Rembrandt. And the only other great master that I know that tints their canvas with other colors is Pierre Bonnard, who I really respect. But otherwise, I like taking my information from great masters rather than other people that just... Anyway, that's what I've adopted.
Do you have time for one more technical question?
Yes.
So the question is from Lane Neese Francis is wondering, do you have a focal point?
I had the focal point was the orchids, but then Laska came in, and so I'm doing this tension between interior space and what happens out there. This dialogue between interior, exterior, and how they relate to each other. How the outside beckons you out, and then the orchid is in the middle. If she hadn't come to sit here, I think I would have given more importance to the orchid. And now I have this dialogue between outside and inside going. So the other second painting that I did in the interior space, I think the evident focal point is the orchids. So I'm letting the orchids be a little suggested rather than stated, rather than saying, I am here. They're just part of the interior. So it's this tension between interior and exterior. But that's a good question. And Christian, weeks ago, asked the question about why was the table so round and not like a disc. Well, for me, I'm up high looking kind of bird's eye on it because I'm closer than the setup we have there. So I think you're seeing it more in a disc formation, and I'm seeing it a little bit more plunged down. So I see the roundness of the table more that way. But I really don't want to lose the calligraphy of my brushstroke, and I don't want to say too much. And so I won't go too much further. What I wanted to do is get this interior to exist and not be confused with the exterior and give some distance. So I'm going to continue with getting that to sit back and this to come forward. but I don't know how you're going to get by. I think I
Is
might.
there something in the bathroom?
I think I might stop anyway.
I have my water bottle. Here's some water if you want.
Okay, thanks.
So we have a comment in French that's nice from Paige Girardot.
Okay.
It says, love being with you, Jill. J'aime comment tu frappes la peinture. I like how you hit the canvas.
That's part of my dance. So I think I've come to a point where I would take some time away from it and see what I've got and see if evaluate how much more I want to do or if I just stop. I don't want to lose the freshness, and that's the scary thing, is the unfortunate thing, is to come back and say, oh, I don't have to say it all. I trust you. I trust my viewer, that my viewer wants to partake in the dance and finish the painting. Just like Hemingway's stories. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. 6 words. And then you finish the story, and with me, you finish the interior space, and you come and sit at this table with your best friend. Voila. Thank you for watching. Bye.